You have an attachment wound and it's affecting your romantic relationships. Let's talk about how attachment wounds are created and what you can do about it. But before I jump in, I'm Jeff Gunther, licensed professional counselor, and this video is brought to you by my therapist directory, therapyden.com. Find a progressive and accepting therapist by using the over 140 search filters. And if you enjoy these videos, a free way to support this channel is to like and subscribe. Okay, like I was saying, you have an attachment wound and it's affecting your romantic relationships. Understanding what it is and where it comes from is essential to being in healthy relationships. I'm about to give you some free therapy, so listen up. All right, our first and our most significant attachment is formed when we're infants with our caregivers. It's important that we get our emotional needs met, like feeling loved and feeling cared for, getting eye contact and feeling soothing touch. And we also need to feel secure in our basic needs being met, like being fed, staying warm, getting diaper changes, and feeling physically safe. If we get our emotional and our physical needs met, we'll start to feel a secure attachment. However, oftentimes those needs are not met, or they're only met sometimes, and this can cause trauma, which creates attachment wounds. For example, our caregivers might leave us suddenly or become emotionally neglectful. If this happens, our emotional and our physical needs could be affected. What would then happen is that our secure relationship wouldn't feel secure anymore, which is problematic because we need to feel secure in order to learn how to self-soothe, feel worthy, and get through hard experiences. If our caregiver isn't there, is distracted, feels really anxious, is on drugs, or doesn't know how to meet our needs, then that'll lead to attachment trauma. As a side note, attachment issues can develop later in life in your adult relationships. It's not always linked back to your parents or your caregivers. It's just oftentimes it is. And I'm a therapist, so I love to blame your parents. But here's the thing. If you're a child and you're not getting your needs met, then your brain is going to internalize what's happening in a very childlike way. It can't not. Children's brains don't understand that parents and caregivers can do anything wrong. By default, a child is going to automatically think that it's their fault. That's how they'll understand the situation. So the child might think, am I asking for too much? This must be my fault. Or I'm not good enough and that's why I'm not getting attention or protection or love. They'll blame themselves because that's the only way they know how to make sense of reality. That attachment trauma will then follow you as an adult. When you're grown up, you could lack confidence, feel unworthy of love, feel unlikable, have a hard time trusting yourself or others or the world around you. Because you weren't properly soothed as a kid, you likely won't be able to soothe yourself or feel safe and calm moving through new situations. And like I said before, these attachment traumas can form in adult relationships, especially if you've been abused in any way, assaulted, neglected, gaslit, made to feel scared or shamed. Attachment wounds can be the main cause of a deep critical voice. That internal voice could say things like, I'm not good enough, I'm not attractive enough, I'm stupid, I have too much baggage, I'm to blame for everything, my needs aren't important, relationships are always unsafe, I'll always be alone. With that critical voice, you're going to enter into relationships already thinking the worst is going to happen. Not only that, you're going to be attracted and magnetized to relationships that will continue to hurt you or let you down in the same way that your caregivers did. This happens because we are always looking to confirm our narratives and our deepest fears, and we also want to have power over them. So, when you feel a strong sense of familiarity with someone that you first meet, you'll want to see that as a yellow flag. You might feel an instant connection with someone because they're about to let you down in the same way that your caregivers did. If this happens to you, you don't have to go running for the hills. You just have to take it really slow and proceed with caution. Ask them about their past relationships. See how they react when things get a little stressful or uncomfortable. You can learn a lot about someone in the first month that you start seeing them. You just have to understand what your attachment wounds are and then be deliberate in finding someone that isn't going to deepen those wounds. Have questions? What else do you want to learn about? You probably have a lot of questions. Leave all your feedback and all your questions in the comment section. And don't forget to support me by liking and subscribing. I'm not taking on new clients right now, but you can find a ton of other therapists that are just like me at therapyden.com.